Hello everybody and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are finally putting together our Lex Luthor Collect and Connect figure. Here we have all the figures needed in the wave to do both variations of this Collect and Connect figure. So we have Vixen with the torso, Batman with the cape and head, Ray with the arms, Wonder Woman with the legs, Spoiler with the alternate Ruler of Apocalypse head, and then last we have Harley coming with the mother box for that alternate version as well. So let's go ahead and get this put together, and then we're going to get a good look at Lex Luthor. Alright, so here we have all the pieces. Let's save these two. We'll look at those when we get closer looks here. So starting first, let's go ahead and get the legs connected. And pretty simple joints, but yeah, there we go. You just got to give them a little bit of a push, and they'll pop right in. There we are. And then the arms. And you do have to lift up those shoulder pads to get to the arms. No big deal, though. Real tough. There we go. Oh, boy, did I do something to that? I hope not. I think we're okay. And we'll go ahead and get the other arm in. There we go. Man, yeah, really tight joints. And before I put the head on, look at this. We actually have a multiverse with a head hinge there. That is awesome. But we'll get the head put on now. It doesn't really pop into place. And then last, we have the cape, which has a little slot right there. So we'll go ahead and put that in. And get the cape on. Awesome. Let's get a better look now at Luthor. And here is Lex all put together, and man, I can't tell you how excited I am to get this figure. I actually have been reading the entire Rebirth line, and this version of Lex was something that I thought was really well written, and I really enjoyed the storylines where he was included. This figure does come in pretty tall, actually. He's standing at about 6 3/4 inches tall, which puts him at about 17.1 centimeters tall. And yeah, he looks awesome in this suit. Speaking of which, if you're wondering why he's wearing this suit, in the first Rebirth run there, we can see that he essentially decided to wear this suit because at the time, the Superman of the world was thought to be dead. So he was wearing this suit to, fill in and do what he always said he was going to do. So yeah, it was Action Comics, was it 957 where he did that. By the way, if you don't have the DC Universe app, you can read that entire run with Lex wearing this suit, in addition to the other, I think, 20,000 digital comics library. I'm a huge DC fan, and this is not a paid promotion or anything. I just really, really like DC Comics, and I'm really loving that DC Universe app. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look first at the alternate head in the mother box, and then we're going to get a better look at Lex. And here we have the extra head that we get with the spoiler figure, so we'll save that for the closer looks. And that leaves us with this mother box, which we'll go ahead and put on here and get an up-close view. And yeah, I mean, the sculpt work is fine on it. The paint is something, yeah, very inconsistent. I do like the gold that they put around it. I think that is pretty cool. And it actually didn't even occur to me until just now how similar the mother box and the Tesseract are in terms of both design and power. The fact that you can open boom tubes with a mother box to travel across, really the universe. Very similar to the Space Stone, but yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at that alternate head sculpt and the rest of the Lex Luthor figure. And starting first with the head sculpt based on one of the Rebirth stories where he became essentially an old god or a ruler of apocalypse there. You can certainly see the dark side inspired sculpt work there. And yeah, I think it actually came out really good. It's pretty accurate to what the comic book had. Looking on his forehead, though, I can't tell if that was, yeah, that looks like paint errors. We get some paint bubbles and things like that. So not the best paint apps, but the flesh tone looks okay. With this, we can just pop this off, and then we grab the regular head sculpt here. And not too bad to get this one on because we do have that regular hinge. It feels more like a Marvel Legends head swap than some of the other multiverse head swaps. So it just doesn't give that really satisfying pop when it goes in. But then taking a look at the Luthor head sculpt, and man, I really like that. I think it came out really well, very clean. Obviously, they didn't have to do a whole lot with the paint work there because you got just some subtle skin tone on the lips and then the eyes and the eyebrow. But man, yeah, that looks really good. And we don't really have too bad a flashing there. It's very subtle. So that came out Really good. I like that a lot. Looking at the rest of the figure, we can see the armor going throughout. We love the S right there. I like the design. You get some really cool sculpted details on the black pieces of the armor throughout, where it has sort of that fabric pattern look to it. So I like that. The shoulder pads are connected to his high collar there, so you do get a little bit of a flexy material. But man, yeah, just looks very good, very comic accurate. So I like that a whole lot. And then all these things technically glow in the comic books, but yeah, that's all right. That I wouldn't expect that, and I think that's usually how they do it with Iron Man, is just paint it white. But yeah, man, this is one of the first times I'm really getting a good close-up look to it, and I really just like how the overall design. I do wish we had the S on the back of the cape, because that is something that, if I'm not mistaken, he is wearing the supposedly dead Superman's cape in this suit, so pretty sure he would have had the S on there, but really good detail. Looking at the articulation, I'm going to start first by telling you that as I do the articulation, this would just fall off pretty consistently, so you're going to end up wanting to probably take this off, pose him, and then get that back on, but it's just going to come right off. So, but leaving that off for a second, we have a head that can go around, but his chin is going to end up hitting that collar. Not a huge deal there. He can actually look down a pretty fair amount, and he can actually look up really well, which for some flying poses, I'll show you in combination with the ab crunch, is actually really good there. You have arms that can come up a pretty fair amount, actually, without doing too much with those shoulder pads, so that is pretty cool. You do have rotation, but then you are going to hit the shoulder pad, so be cautious of that. You have bicep swivel, only a single jointed elbow, which does about 90 degrees, and then you do only have a hinge. There is no, or sorry, rotation. There is no hinge, which is a real bummer. And then we get these gripping hands. I wish we would have gotten maybe some fisted hands for him, or an open gesture, or even flying hands. He does have an ab crunch that can go forward and backwards a little bit, not too far, but with the addition of that head that can go a little bit more, you can potentially get some good flying poses with him looking forward, so that is nice. He does have a waist swivel, but mine would actually not move there at first, and come to find out, you can see right there, I ended up taking my X-Acto knife, and I was kind of just running it around the edge, and it turns out it was glued, and I had to use the X-Acto knife to essentially pop the glue to get that to rotate. So it was completely seized. I thought I was going to break every time I was turning. I thought I was going to break it because this was starting to flex there, and I was really bummed. I wanted to have that waist rotation, but thankfully I got it fixed. He has legs that could go apart extremely far. Can kick forward. It kind of takes it a little bit off to the side, but can kick forward not too bad. He does have a upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. Then he does have a hinge and ankle pivot. And for a quick comparison, here we have the Rebirth Superman suit Lex Luthor next to the Rebirth Superman and the DC Universe Classics Lex Luthor in his classic power armor. And finally, we have all the figures in this wave. We have the Gotham by Gaslight Batman, the two exclusives, Spoiler and Harley, the Collect and Connect figure, Lex Luthor, the two JLA members, the Ray and Vixen, and the Rebirth Wonder Woman. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And I wanted to show off this Ruler of Apocalypse head one more time, because on the Snoke throne, this actually looks really, really cool. And I very well might actually display this figure like this for a little bit. And overall, I was really excited to get this figure. When I first saw that he was the Collect and Connect figure for the wave, I had to get this wave because I really enjoyed that Rebirth run with him, basically taking over the mantle of Superman. I loved the character development that they did with Lex, and overall, I thought it was a really cool take on a classic character. So yeah, if you can get yourself this wave, or at the very least the parts needed to build this Collect and Connect figure, I'd say go for it, because he is really cool. But as I said, that is it for this review. So if you do like this review, please make sure to hit that like button down below. Make sure to subscribe for more content just like this. And aside from that, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.